Well, let's try to answer your question on problem number 47. We're just trying to find our average rate of change. Once again, that's just our slope between x being 5 and x being x plus, or 5 plus h. So we got to take 5. That's our x coordinate. Plug it in here. We get then just 2 to the 5th. And then we got to come back and we got to plug in our other x coordinate of x plus 5. Plug that in here for our x and we get 2 to the 5 plus h. So now all we have to do is just do our slope. Changing our y's over changing the x's. Our bottom does simplify. There's really not much we could do to the top. It's very similar to your e to the x plus h minus e to the x problem that you had before. If you wanted, you could pull out a common factor of a 2 to the 5th. But you don't have to. There's nothing you can really do here to simplify this. Normally, you've been trying to get rid of the h in the bottom. But at this point in your mathematical career, you're not able to get rid of that h in the bottom. So that's all we have here. So then we want to go ahead and take a look at our table. So we're going to take our calculator. We're first of all going to take this right here, put it into our y equals. But our calculator doesn't like h, it only likes to use x. So wherever you see an h here, make sure you put it in with an x, making sure you have the whole top in parentheses. Then we're going to use our table. So we're going to first of all set our table up, which is second window. We're going to go down to the independent and select ask. Now we're going to look at table, which is second graph. And nothing shows up. But we're asked to see what happens when we're getting close to 0. Now, if we did try 0, it wouldn't work. It gives us an error. And if you tried 0 here, you'd notice you would get 0 divided by 0, which we have said in class is an indeterminate form, meaning you can't determine the answer till you do more work. But we could try numbers close to 0, like 100th. We could even try 1,000th. Or even something closer yet. And we could try numbers closer and closer to 0. And you'll notice they're not really changing a whole lot when we're over here. Now I'm going to go over and highlight these, and you have more decimals being displayed here at the bottom. And as I scroll down here, you see the numbers are very similar. They're not changing a whole lot. Okay? So our table gives us these values here. But the ask feature allows you to type in any number you want into your calculator. Now it says it wants you to graph it. So we'll go back to your calculator and we're going to graph this. Now we still had it in the y equals. I just set my window to be this because I want to be on each side of 0, a little bit larger than 0, a little bit lower than 0, so I went from 5 to negative 5. When I hit graph, I get this here. Now, as we graph this, we can go ahead and use our trace button down below to answer what D is to help us out. So once again, when we plug in 0, it says it can't do it. We arrow to the right once, and that gives us an estimate. Or if we go just to the left of 0 once, it gives us an estimate. I mean, even with the trace button here, we can actually type in values. We can go 0.000, and we get values that are close. And you'll notice what we get here from our graph is very similar to what we were getting right here with our table.